Hi, everyone. It's Benjamin Krudwig from Benjamin Krudwig Fiber Arts and Designs. And I know a couple of weeks ago we tried to do this Google Hangout thing, um, and it didn't quite work. My mic was not connecting through the computer, so um, we had some issues there. I have brought a new mic from work, so I thought I would test it out just to make sure that my camera itself or my computer itself is fine. And it turns out that I think it's just the mic in my computer that isn't working. So hi, this is going to be episode 22 of Design Time Podcast. The 21st episode is over on my Facebook page as a live event. And I am going to do things like I used to do them back when I first started my podcast, when it was, oh my gosh, what did I even call it? The Fibercast. So this is called Design Time, and since it's a live event, I am going to post about it over on my Facebook page real quick to get some folks over here if they would like to join us. I will be taking questions and comments over time, so there should be a Q&A thing on your screen somewhere when you're at this event. And if you don't see that, I'm sorry. I will not be checking the YouTube page just because it's only me today. I won't be able to really go back and forth and see the comments on there. So if you would like to participate, come to the actual event page on Google Hangouts, and we will have a grand old time tonight. So I am going to quickly be over here. Oh, my podcast. Awesome. Great. So now I just need to get myself back to where I was. All right. So here we are. This again is episode 22 of Design Time Podcast. I am Benjamin Krudwig from Benjamin Krudwig Fiber Arts and Design. You can find me everywhere as Benjamin Krudwig or Benjamin Krudwig Fiber Arts and Design. So I believe my Instagram is Benjamin Krudwig. My Facebook page is Benjamin Krudwig Fiber Arts and Design, and you can find me on Ravelry as Benjamin Krudwig as well. I am also gonna do a quick post on Instagram. Let's see if I can. Is this super meta? Fun. So I want this to be a more relaxed night. I've got my beer in hand, and I have a huge box of yarn to the left of me, and fiber in front of me, and finished projects to the left of me. So I have quite a bit to talk to you about tonight. So it might be a longer podcast, and I will be doing a first impressions, I guess, a live first impressions on this box of yarn that I was donated. Or was donated to me. There we go. Can you tell it's Tuesday and I've been working for 9 days straight? Oh boy, this is going to be a fun night. So I hope more people show up. Okay. Okay. Sorry for that brief moment of crazy. So I think first things first, let me talk to you about where I just came back from. So as I just mentioned, I've been working for 9 days straight. And that is because I went to Convergence this last week, which is a weaving convention that's held every 2 years through the Handweavers Guild Association. I had a really great time. So I went with my work, which is Shack Spindle Company. I'm their marketing and advertising manager. So I tend to do a lot of the shows, and I do all of their social media marketing, all of their video, most of their photography. And honestly, it was a great time to go meet not just our retailers, which when I go to TNNA, which is the National Needle Arts Association, we're pretty much meeting retailers and designers, and that's the audience. So we don't see any consumers there. So people who are, coming in off the street or who are the end user of the products, that's really not the audience at TNNA. But it is the audience of Convergence and shows like that. So Convergence has been around for quite some time, since the 80s, I believe. And if any of you are familiar, there used to be a thing called SOAR, which is a spin-off autumn retreat, which was similar to Convergence. All that it was that was different was it was a spinning focus instead of a weaving focus. Well, I believe it was a year and a half or 2 years ago, it must be 2 years ago now, they announced that SOAR would no longer be taking place. And what filled that niche was Ply-Away. So those kinds of shows are where we can really see the end user and meet the people who use our products, the most. So it's nice to meet fans and people who use our products. So I met a few people who it was kind of interesting. Some of them fangirled over me a little bit, just for some of the weaving I've done and some of the projects that I've done on the Shack blog. And then it's a lot of people that I recognize their usernames on Ravelry or their names from orders that I have placed through work. So it was just a nice moment. This is mostly going to be a haul episode, by the way. I have one finished object that I can show you. Everything else has been publication work. So sorry I can't show you that, but soon there's something I can show you. So for Convergence, I decided that I was going to weave fabric and sew myself a vest. So that's what I did. I did, let's see, some sampling. Whoop. And you can actually see, this is my sample fabric that was at the beginning of my loom. Since sewn it into a bag. And so I was looking at the colors and the intensity of the colors, and I was choosing what do I want to do with this fabric. And I decided on the dark gray, or the medium gray, I suppose. And I wove a couple of yards of fabric and then sewed this vest. I'm going to give you a close-up. So here's the fabric. Can you hear my cat up there? She is meowing. No, I'll get into that at the end of the episode. So I had a really great time weaving the fabric and then sewing with my hand woven fabric. The drape is really nice. It's an all cotton fabric that I wove. And all the details are going to be on the Shack Spindle Company blog. So I'm going to do the whole process from choosing the yarns, creating the draft, and then weaving it, sewing it, and all of that process. I used a commercial pattern, which is lying around here somewhere. My wife has been in Mexico for the last 2 weeks for a summer program for her opera singing. And I haven't done a whole lot of cleaning because nobody's coming over right now. She doesn't have any students coming over. I've been going out to see people more than having them come here. So why clean when you can craft? That's what I've been doing. So I'm not sure where the pattern is right now, but maybe I'll let you know someday. So anyhow, that vest went off, with a big hit. It was a big hit at Convergence. And with the remaining little scraps of fabric, I sewed a matching hat. And I don't know where that is currently. I hope it's in my luggage somewhere. I packed and then I didn't really pay attention to what I was packing. Oh well. So that is my one finished object that I have made that you can see. And then moving on, what else have I been doing? So I've been knitting a few patterns for people, for some certain companies, and I am really excited for one that should be coming out soon. They haven't posted any teasers yet, so I don't know exactly when the drop dead date is, but it's coming out very, very soon. So I'm going to have a string of about 3 or 4 patterns that kind of come out in succession. So this dry spell that you've been seeing it's only because I'm working on things, not because I am not working on things. You just can't see them. So that's my finished object. However, I do have a haul. I spoke to the people from Weavolution, and Weavolution is a website that's a lot like Ravelry, but it's for weavers. So it's pretty much all weavers all the time. I met the people who run it now. They're very, very nice. Had dinner with them one of the nights and just, really hit it off. So they, as a thank you, I guess, to their advertisers or to their sponsors, let me grab that real quick. I'm going to quickly check. I got some comments on the YouTube channel here. Yeah, why clean when you can craft? That is, you heard it here. Benjamin Krudwig, circa 2016. So let me show you the different fibers that I received. I'm hoping it won't be too shiny. I have a new light on my laptop. It's a ring light, and I might need to, maybe if I just do it back here. So this is Shetland, and it's a 20 to 30 micron count, and so that's going to be a really, really soft fiber. This all comes from the Handweaver Studio in London. So the Weavolution folks live in the UK. So it's kind of obvious that they have fiber from the UK. The next breed is Shetland as well, but it's in the color Bah Humbug, or just Humbug. So it's kind of a lovely tan and brown color, and I am really excited to get these spun up. It's probably an ounce each, maybe a little less than an ounce, and I'm okay with that. It'll be a nice sampler to see if I ever want to get these fiber types. This one is Jacob in kind of a heathered browny gray. Okay, so this one is Masham. I've never been able to say that right. Masham, and it is kind of a mousy gray color, and it's a little bit rough. I've spun Masham before, and it does tend to be a little rough, which I'm, again, I'm fine with it. It'll be fun to try. Here's some Romney lamb's wool. It's so beautiful that it's let's see. Let me cover the camera while I cover the lamp. There you go. And then last but not least, my personal favorite is this one here. I'll be receiving potentially 1 or 2 fleeces of this. This is, I forgot already, it's Black Welsh. And it is this dark, I mean, it's really brown, but it's so dark that it almost looks black. So I'm very, very excited to spin this one up. It does have a few guard hairs in it, so I'm hoping that the finished yarn won't be too rough. But let's see. Yeah, I think this is going to be a really awesome yarn. So I'm excited to spin these 6 different fibers. I may leave it until Spinzilla for me to spin it. However, I have a feeling that September and October are going to get pretty crazy here soon. I have a few more projects to do, some knitting, and then one that's a spinning and knitting project that are coming up shortly. So I'm a little pressed for time, I should say. So that's that part of the haul. Before I move on to the first impression box of yarn, I do want to give a shout out to a book that I'm reading. Many of you have probably heard of it. It's called Big Magic. It's by Elizabeth Gilbert. My mother, my wife, some of my aunts have read this book. And so for my birthday, my parents gifted it to me. And it is a fantastic book. My lamp is freaking out right now, so let me switch light sources. Here we go. Woo! That is good morning. So this is a really, really good book on creative living. And so like if you don't subscribe to those personal like self-help books, good. This is not one of those. This is more of a how-to than a self-help, and it's really like how to live a more creative life, no matter what that is for you. So if your creativity comes in the form of the fiber arts, like it does for me, fantastic. If it comes in the form of singing, like my wife, great. If it comes in the form of cooking or building something, or doing taxes for a living, if that's where your creativity comes from, wonderful. This book is all about basically unleashing the best in yourself. So I would recommend giving it a read. Let's see, I'm about, is that a third? Maybe a third or a quarter of the way through. And I've been really, really enjoying it. It's a great book. So it's now on my bedside table. So when it's time for bed, I take a little chapter or two from here. On to what a lot of people are looking for. This is the portion of the hangout in which I'll be talking to you about a huge box of yarn that I received. As I mentioned earlier, I went to TNNA this June, and this was the first year that I registered as a designer. So my information was put out on the TNNA website that, yes, I'm a designer. And what happened is I got an email 2.5 or 3 weeks ago from the yarn manufacturer King Cole. They're based out of the UK. And I had heard of them, but I had never personally used their yarns. So the email said, hey, would you like a sample, like a taster pack of our yarns to try out? And I said, sure, I'll review them on my podcast. I will take a look, and I'll probably use them, especially having looked at the outside. of the packages. So I said yes. I forgot about it a little bit as far as I wasn't expecting a giant box of yarn is maybe what I should say. So I got home from Convergence and there was a notification on my door saying, "There, you have a box at the FedEx store. Please come pick it up." So I said, "Okay, I will go pick it up." I get to the FedEx station and there is a huge box waiting for me. And I'm just going, I do not remember ordering anything. I don't remember buying anything. I don't remember yarn support for anything, and here I am like reeling thinking, oh my gosh, like, do I have another project coming up that I've forgotten about? And then I read that it was from the UK. And that's when things started to click. I was like, oh my gosh, this is the yarn from King Cole. So about 6 bags of yarn inside this box, of all like various types of yarn. Holy mackerel. Sorry, we're getting a rainstorm and I think the wind just obliterated one of my sunflowers upstairs. Hello. So let me show you the yarn box. Okay, this is the box in scale of me. And here is the yarn inside the box. I'm not going to tip it over because it will fly out. And I haven't looked at these in depth. So really, we're going to go on this adventure together. So this is my King Cole first impression sampler. Ding. So just on first glances, I will say that this looks a lot like a major yarn manufacturer. The ball bands are, around the center of this kind of skein. Instead of a hank of yarn, it's more like what you would find at Joann's or Michael's. And I'm sure, some of my UK viewers, you might be able to tell me this. Do they sell King Cole in yarn shops in the UK? Like, is this, and by yarn shops, I mean, do you guys have big name brands like Joann's and Michael's over there? Big box, I think is what they call it, big box stores. If so, do they sell this? And if they do sell this, that is awesome. Oh. Annie Gray, you live next to me, apparently. Well, that is awesome. Anyhow, I am getting sidetracked, so I'm so apologetic. So I'm just going to go through each of these yarns that they sent, tell you what color it is, if they have a color number, and then what I think of the yarn. So this first one is called Shine. It's a DK weight, and it is called Heather. It's shade 1592. And what I love about this one is kind of like a holographic tinsel is applied with the yarn. The colors, I would say, are like a blush pink into a deep mauve, and then a light green. So it's very floral, in my opinion. I actually like this. It's 97% acrylic and 3% polyester. So it's not what I would normally purchase because I tend to go for natural yarns. However, I do think that there is a place for synthetics. And I'll talk more about that with my exciting announcement. So I like the color. I like the yarn. I like that the shiny thing is more holographic than just one color. So I'm very, very pleased with this one. The next one is King Cole Baby Comfort Double Knitting. So it's another DK weight. That's an acrylic nylon, and it's this beautiful white tone, and that's the name is white. This one's very, very soft. I would say that it's fluffier then it's like a cross between Karen's Simply Soft and Vanna's Choice, where it has kind of like the weight of Karen Simply Soft, but it has that like kind of lovely luster and fluff of Vanna's Choice. This is extremely soft, and since it's a baby yarn, that's good. This one comes 340 yards per hank, so that's 100 grams. And this one I may or may not use. I'm not sure. I may do a giveaway with some of this yarn so I can get it into the hands of my viewers. So keep an eye out probably on my Instagram channel, my Instagram page profile. Oh my gosh, it's been a while since I podcasted. So keep an eye out on my Instagram for announcements on a giveaway with some of this yarn. The next one is called King Cole Cuddles Chunky. This is a novelty yarn. It's like a mini eyelash yarn. This, I mean, it's soft. The color is not listed. Oh, fuchsia. It's not really fuchsia in my opinion. This, I'll never really like this yarn. So if you like novelty pink yarn, this is for you. This is totally for you. I may still use this for an announcement that I'm coming up later. Rowan, my cat is below where I'm putting the yarn real quick while I'm podcasting, and I don't want him to eat it. So the next one just cracks me up. It's called Yummy, and it's basically fleece. So it feels like a fleece blanket, which I'm sure it is. That's exactly what it is. This reminds me of Calvin and Hobbes. The colors, you have that like tiger stripe and the white, and it's just, I mean, it's ridiculously novel. The color is called Eton Mess. I don't really know what that means. It's ETON Mess. Oh well, but this is going to be fun to play with. I'm going to probably weave with most of these yarns just to show that you can weave with non-organic, or you can weave with synthetic fibers. So this is going to be a fun one to play with. So this one is called Big Value DK. This one I'm not as fond of. It doesn't feel as nice as like the baby DK. It's again acrylic. This is the color Crocus. I do think that there's an interesting sheen with their yarns, and I know it's the acrylic, but some acrylics don't shine like this, so you can kind of see in halo almost. This one, it's pretty, but it's not much to write home about. This one is called Big Value Chunky. This one, it kind of reminds me of Lion Brand. I love this color. It's called Sea Spray, and I don't know if you can tell, but it's, oops, sorry if I just knocked the mic. Blues and greens and grays, and it kind of looks like there's a ply of something dark. Maybe not. Again, it's not the softest acrylic yarn that I've met. And it kind of looks like it's going to pill quite a bit, but you know, I might as well try it out and see how well it wears. I'll probably do more in-depth reviews later on, later this year or into next year with this yarn. So keep an eye out on my blog for that. But I do love the color. I'm not thrilled about the actual yarn itself, but sometimes you gotta love something for what it is. The next one is another baby yarn. It's called Baby, Big Value 4-ply. This is extremely soft again. I am planning, like this is a little thin. It says, is it DK? No, it's 4-ply. So what is that, a sport weight? This is the color Sax. And I mean, it's pretty. I think this would make a really nice baby blanket, honestly. And I think even though it's acrylic, it would drape beautifully if woven or knit. It might be a little thin for crochet. I like to crochet with something a little bit thicker than this, but it's still, I don't know, it's pretty. I think it's pretty. Ooh, what are you? This one is called Big Value Dishcloth and Craft Cotton in the colorway Fuchsia. This is going to be a nightmare to knit and maybe a nightmare to, well, maybe not too bad. So it's kind of like a eyelash, not quite a boucle. Here. It's really, really rough, but also soft at the same time. It's cotton, 100% cotton. This would be perfect for a dishcloth, which is what it's for. So I know this is probably meant to be knit or crocheted. I am going to weave with this and make a scrubby cloth, or maybe even 2 or 3. And this will, I think this will weave up really, really interestingly. And then you'll get more of the scrub factor if you do it that way. So this one will definitely be reviewed later when I weave with it. Let's see, 2 skeins of Merino Blend DK. It's a superwash merino. It's all merino, but it's a blend of different merinos. It's a worsted weight, I believe. Looks like it. And this one is the colorway Gold. This, well, there goes one of them. I think this would actually make a really good like crocheted or knit stuffy. So I do plan on, God, this is almost like Pikachu yellow. You can't really see it as, it's not as vivid. Oh my gosh, come on. Maybe back here. Sniff the yarn. It's pretty vivid. It's a vivid yellow. So, no. Ding. So this is gonna be fun. It says anti-tickle, and I don't know what that means. If it means like anti-itch. But look at a little sheep. So damn cute. Okay. Sorry. I cursed, but you're just gonna get unadulterated me. I say as I drink the beer. Here's one that I'm pretty interested in. It's a high twist Aran weight yarn. They call it Fashion Aran. It's acrylic and wool, so 70% acrylic, 30% wool. This is the shade Natural. It's showing up a little bit more white than it is. It's more creamy. I might knit a hat out of this. It's really high twist, so you get this really great texture. Yeah, you can see that there. So this will be really interesting to play with. Whew, Sprite, DK weight, what are you? It's a singles out of acrylic. All of their acrylic, just there's a shine to it that you don't really see in some of these American brands. This is the color Ibiza. There's beautiful little butterflies all around. I am not a huge fan of these colors, if I can be completely honest. They're not the worst I've ever seen, but I can't say that I love this like salmon color next to this teal color. I don't know. It's a little dated in my opinion, but it is very soft. I will say that. I'm worried that, again, that this is going to pill something horrible. The singles yarn, I'm not a huge fan of using singles. It is possible that I could run this through my spinning wheel and ply it back on itself to do a double, a 2-ply, but it would be more of a chunky weight rather than a DK weight. So this one I might use, but probably not. Here's a fun one. It's called Gypsy Super Chunky. That's not terribly politically correct to call something gypsy, but it's historic, I suppose. This one is in the colorway Autumn. Maybe it's because I went to the University of Colorado in Boulder, but this is like CU Boulder colors. And it is 80% acrylic, 20% wool. And it's a chunky weight with a thread that's plied through it. It's kind of gaudy, but I might have to knit a hat, like a nice, chunky, bulky, funky looking hat out of this yarn. Again, this acrylic is so shiny. I'm getting distracted by the shine factor. Woo! We're getting to some of my favorite stuff in here, by the way. Here's one that I think is super sweet. I don't have any babies, but I do have nephews and nieces. So this one is called Smarty DK. It's another, I would say it's a child-safe yarn. It's 100% acrylic. And this is a speckle. Maybe, so it's dyed speckle, but it kind of looks like a tweed. The colorway is called Nougat, which is a fun word to say, everybody. It's called a nougat. So it's kind of a blush pink with, well, maybe blush pinky white. And then it has some teal blue and darker pink accents, as well as what looks like some dark gray accents, but very few. This would make a really great blanket or child's garment, cardigan or a hat or a scarf. I would be intrigued to see how this weaves up. Apparently, I'm all into weaving right now, guys, which I'm okay with, again, because I freaking love weaving. I have another huge project that I'm waiting to warp my loom on. You can see the yarn right here, but I'm not allowing myself to measure my warp until I finish my current projects. Anyways, I digress. The next thing, so this is called Opium. Again, not sure how politically correct that is. It has poppies on the front, which is wonderful. I am in love with this yarn. So this one is called, or the colorway is Jade. It's 54% cotton, 42% acrylic, and 4% polyamide. So it's chunky bits and then some thin bits. With a cotton acrylic, this is going to be really, really strong. So this would make a fantastic warp. Like, oh my gosh, where's that other yarn that I saw in here? Oh. Sorry. Seriously, it's a ginormous box of yarn. And I bet it's doing a great job of soundproofing me right now. Hi, buddy. Hi, Rowan. I don't know where it is, but we will find it. It's a bright, well, it's like maybe an emerald green that might look really good with this. So I'm pretty psyched. It's a lovely turquoisey color. Again, everything is, might be my lamp is making things look bluer or whiter than they actually are. All right, so now that I've thoroughly mixed the box of yarn up even further, here's the next one. It's called Cotswold Chunky. It is 80% acrylic, 20% wool. And this is in the color Painswick, sorry. And so this, it's, some pinks and browns, very muted colors. This might make a really nice hat for like my mother, or maybe one of my sisters. This would just, it's a nice subtle color that I think would go well in fall or winter. It's not as soft as the other acrylics. I think part of that is the wool content, But I think that's fine. I think that's totally fine. All right. Time for more beer. Okay. So this one is called Fashion Aran Combo. It is 30% wool and 70% acrylic, and this is the shade Hint of Brown. Really, I mean, those are my thoughts on it. Are Hint of Brown. So it's not the most like eye-popping color. And again, it's not super, super soft. Woo! Okay. Here's Glitz Double Knitting. So it's a DK weight yarn. This is obviously for the holiday season, Christmas or so. Oh, the shade is called Christmas. I'm going to let you in on a little secret that I'm not a huge fan of Christmas colors. The red and the green and the white are a little, how do you say, garish. So this is not for me. And like the shiny in there just makes it a little bit more obnoxious. However, I could see this being great for one of those like weird Christmassy things that you wear only at Christmas. So that was that one. So the next one that I have is called Big Value Recycled Cotton. It is 85% cotton and 15% other fibers. What this tells me is that this is like refuse from the denim industry. So what we're looking at is old, not old, but like it might be new, cotton that has been reclaimed and repurposed and respun into yarn. So that's why they have to say 15% other fibers. This is the colorway Surf. I actually like it. It's really, really soft. That's one thing about recycled cotton is that it's already done the, I guess aging process is not really the right word. Not aged. What do you call that? Worn? Oh my gosh. I haven't even, so Annie just said that she wants to see me go through this box completely hammered. I'm not even like 2 sips into my beer. So maybe, you know, the drunk kitchen, maybe I'll do my drunk craft room. I'll just, boop, boop. Love you, Hannah Hart. Okay. Woo! Here is the next group of yarn. I might have more of this. I can't tell in this giant box. But I think these are the 2 skeins. So are they the same? Yes, awesome. So not only are they the same colorway, they are the same gosh darn lot number. So this is a sock yarn. It's called Zigzag 4-ply. It's 75% superwash, 25% nylon. On first feel, I do not like this. This is very, very crunchy feeling. I might knit a swatch and wash it and see if it feels better. If not, I don't know how I feel about this. I do like the colors. The colors are really fun. They're really bold and bright. They kind of remind me of the 90s. But they're not like purple enough to be the 90s. Anyways, I'm gonna have to feel how this knits up to see if it's actually suitable for socks. I have very sensitive skin, and so anything that's just a little itchy, I can't handle. So it doesn't, it's not that scratchy on my arm. I wonder if it's just my hands are dry. Needless to say, I think this one needs further exploration. It does look like a pretty low twist for a sock yarn, so jury's out on this one. I'm not sure how I feel about that one at all. I'm hoping that my cat doesn't abscond with any of these yarns. The next one is called Cotton Soft. It is 100% cotton and it is soft. I mean, it kind of looks like a mercerized cotton, so it has that little bit of a shine. This is the color Cherry. This is like ridiculously soft. So this would maybe make a really nice scarf, woven or knit or crocheted possibly. It does have that same kind of sheen as the acrylic yarns have, which makes me leads me to believe that it's mercerized, which means basically waxed. I do like this color, and I do think it's extremely soft. This one I think I will do further testing on. Speaking of red, here is King Cole Comfort Chunky. It's 60% acrylic, 40% nylon in the shade Claret, or Claret, if you will. This is red yarn. It's bulky red yarn. I'm going to be honest, I'll probably use this to tie up packages this holiday season. Like, I wouldn't, let's see, do I look good in red, guys? Do I? Do I look good in red? It's red yarn. Nothing really special about it. What do I have in my bag of tricks? Here's one called Super Chunky Twist. I found the 90s again. This one's called Heather Twist, or the color is Heather Twist. It's this lovely amethyst purple, well, maybe a purpley gray with flecks of like blue and yellow, almost like rainbow. This would look really good knit up. So again, hat maybe. The thing is, like, I like crocheting hats and chunky yarn because they just go by so quickly. Knitting, you have to deal with the double pointed needles and then go up to your circulars, and I don't know. I don't know, guys. Maybe that one will become a hat or not. I don't know. We're getting into some fun stuff soon. Again, this goes on forever. Ha! Okay. So I was telling you about the holidays just a moment ago. Boom. This one is called Tinsel in the colorway Emerald. Tinsel Chunky. This is an eyelash yarn with shiny bits in it. I am going to have a field day with this. Oh my gosh. You know, it's just how it feels. It's a little crunchy, but you know, what are you going to ask for when you get some awesome, awesome fringy yarn out of this? Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay. On to the next. So I just found, let's see if I can bend down and get it. Oh! This yarn is called Giza. It is mercerized Egyptian cotton. This one is a 4-ply, and it's in the colorway green. So this, I actually really, I like this a lot. And this is what I was thinking. This is that one that I was telling you about. I would actually maybe put this in the warp since it is consistent. And it's, again, it's cotton, so we're not going to have issues with differential shrinkage. And the colors, I think, just look at that. Yes, yes, like this is, I'm setting this one aside so I can do a project with this. And I will tell you more about what this project is going to be for. Another one that I don't normally go for, and this is by no means as soft as it looks, but this is their Luxe Fun Fur. It looks like fur. This one is called Polar. No polar bears were harmed in the making of this yarn. For a fake fur, this looks pretty dang realistic. And it's not that garish feeling. And I really, really like the color. I really like the color. So this is destined to be put into a weaving sample of some sort. Or, let's see, maybe I'll knit a hat out of it and I'll look like an old man. I look like an old man already sometimes. Fun fact. I'm just checking things. I want to make sure that I'm not ignoring people on my various channels. Boop, boop, boop. Ah, so somebody is only going to come watch if I include the kitties. Well, I can include Rowan. Come here, buddy. Okay, we're going to take a brief break from yarn. So this is Rowan. Say hi to everybody, Rowan. Say hi. He is a naughty little cat because after I was at Convergence and Ariana has been gone in Mexico, we had somebody looking after our cats. Well, the day before I came home, Rowan decided to go missing after our house sitter checked in on him. And I didn't see him at all on Sunday, even though I had been there since 3 o'clock. I thought he had run away. So I went to the Humane Society, I went to the vets nearby, and I put up little lost posters. And it turns out this little bugger was actually in our ceiling. Let's see if I can show you. Do you see that hole? So I had to make a hole to get my cat out of my ceiling. And he's been a little freaked out about it ever since. So I'm hoping that he will, he seems a lot more relaxed right now, as you can obviously tell. And he's trying to get to that box of yarn. No. You can stay with me, okay? But no eating the yarn. All right, so let's continue, shall we? The next yarn, and I have cat fur up my nose. I actually, shockingly enough, I really like this yarn. This one's called Party Glitz. This is the colorway Elf. It's a 4-ply. It looks like a sport weight or a fingering weight. It's kind of springy. And it is 88% acrylic, 7% PBT. I have no idea what that means. And 5% metallic. I think I need to weave a scarf out of this for the holiday season. Like, this is way too fun. And it's subtle enough, like the green metallic thread is subtle enough that it's not like, ugh, metallic. And I love this tonal under dye. Like this, I am digging this. So this one is a definite I'm gonna play with. All right. Kitty fur. This one is called Price Wise DK. It's 100% acrylic. This is the color dark gray. This reminds me a lot of Vanna's Choice. Has the same kind of sheen, same sort of structure. It's about as soft as Vanna's Choice. Squishy. This one might be a fun thing to do, like for a kid. Honestly, like I might use some of this acrylic yarn to weave some gifts or knit some gifts for my nephews and nieces. Nephews and niece. Yeah. And then here's another one, King Cole Vogue. Vogue. This one is in the shade Egg Blue. It's cotton, 100% cotton. I really like this dye job. It kind of reminds me of a jean jacket that's a little distressed. It has the white. The egg blue, like the teal, is a little bright for denim, but I really enjoy this one. This one could potentially go with those other two cotton yarns that I liked, but it might be better on its own or with something else. We have reached nearly, oh my gosh, it just keeps going. Oh my God. I mean, this is awesome. But I like just missed a whole lot because I wasn't looking down. Okay, how do I do this? All right, so this first one is Opium Palette. So this is a lot like that other cotton yarn that I really like, but it's in a variegated colorway. This looks high end as far as like, it's very, I don't know, French to me. The shade is called Pina Colada. I might make something for my sister out of this. This one would be good. I dropped a small skein of something. I'm not going to worry about it. This one is called Riot DK. This is another singles yarn. Look at these colors. Purples, blues, reds, mauve. What is the colorway? Rhapsody, whatever. It's fine. This kind of reminds me of some universal yarn. They're kind of ombre shades. So this would be really interesting to see knit or woven up, or even this could be really nice crocheted into a shawl. Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do on that one. This one is called Cherish. It's a baby DK. This one is in the colorway Lilacs. It's a high twist DK. I would actually maybe go as far as to say that this would be a really good sock yarn. It's high twist. It says 100% anti-pilling acrylic. Yeah, so this may actually make a nice durable sock. You can see like the stitch pattern there. Pretty nice. And then here we have, I really like this. 2 different shades of their authentic cotton mix, one in chunky and one in a DK. The chunky is in slow. The DK is in brass. Together, I think these make a really good combo. They're very heathered, which I appreciate. Rowan seems to like them, apparently. He's being a little love bug right now. And so it's cotton, 50% cotton, 50% acrylic. So, you know, it looks like jeans on the back here, which made me think that they were going to be reclaimed denim, but they're not. I think these are really, really soft. These will be fascinating to play with. This might be a good one to mix warp and weft. We'll see. Play with that one too. We have reached the point where we've gotten to my favorite yarn just from the looks of it in the entire box, and it's their Drifter series. This one is Drifter Chunky in the colorway Barcelona. I want to make all the things out of this yarn. I just love it. So they have a chunky weight, a super soft DK weight. This one is in the color Oregon. So these seem to be named after places, hence Drifter. You're going from one place to another. I love how muted these colors are. And there's more of them. So Boy Blue, this is their baby Drifter. Really, really soft. It's cotton and wool and acrylic. Oh, Rowan, that's your claws. Okay. Yikes, you have sharp claws sometimes, bud. Pretty colors. This one has some orange and blue and white and green. This one is Drifter, also the super soft double knit in Nebraska. This one is the super soft double knit in Arizona. This one doesn't quite say Arizona to me, but that's okay. That is totally okay, because Nebraska said Nebraska. This one is also the super soft Don't Fall Off, Rowan, double knit in Wyoming. I could almost see this as Wyoming. These colors, it's like yellow and gold and gray and brown. And then last but not least, we have, again, the super soft double knit, also in Arizona. Are you really the same? Okay, so these are two different dye lots of Arizona, which kind of goes to show they're similar, but this top one I think is actually a little bit, well, in person, this top one looks a little bit lighter than this bottom one. But having two skeins of this tells me that I could have a really, really fun time making a big, luscious scarf or wrap out of this one. Woven, obviously, because that's the name of the game tonight. So those are the yarns that I got in that big package. I do have distributorship information if people want it. Like if you are a yarn shop watching this and you want to carry King Cole in your place, in your shop, just give me an email and I will be happy to pass on your information or King Cole's information to you so that you could inquire about carrying their yarn. So all of this great yarn, it's a whole lot of acrylic, and some of them, you know, I have single skeins of, or I have a couple of skeins of them. What the heck do you do with your stash, right? So this is a nice segue into my big exciting announcement. So if you stuck around for the last half hour to 45 minutes, here is the big gosh darn announcement. I will be teaching a class this October in North Carolina, in the Outer Banks of North Carolina at the Sea Ranch Resort. I have been invited by Island Fiberworks. Linda Ely is the owner of Island Fiberworks, and she is hosting I think it's a weaving retreat for 2 weeks out there, and I am coming out for 3 days at the end of October. So my class, I believe, runs on the 27th, the 28th, and the 28th, the 29th, and the 30th of October. It's called Design on the Fly, and it is a weaving class. You could be a beginner, you could be an expert weaver, and really what this course is all about, or the class is all about, is unlocking your stash. So the first project, first I'm going to teach you the basics of design. So color, composition, texture, you know, the basic elements of artistic design. I do find that fiber arts are an art. They are artistic. And I believe that you can use the same principles that you use in art as you do in, you can use the same principles as you do in art in fiber arts. So we're going to be going over that for the first day, for the first half of the day. And then we are going to use some yarn from our personal stashes for the first project. So these are yarns that you already like, that you've bought for some reason or another. So single skeins or partial skeins. Maybe you have some hand spun that you haven't figured out what to do with yet. So we're going to use those for the first project. I'm going to teach you how to compose your project and design it. And then the next day we're going to critique, talk about, other things that you could potentially do, or if we run into problems. Design on the fly is really what we're doing. We're designing on the fly. The next day, I am pushing weavers out of their comfort zone a little bit. So what that means, I will be bringing maybe even some of these yarns, some yarns in brown paper bags, and students will get one of those brown paper bags, and they will be tasked with the goal of weaving something, of designing something with the yarn they have in the bag. So it's potentially yarn they've never worked with before, yarn they've never seen before. And with all of the tools and tips that I put forward in the first day, we'll be able to create something wonderful out of potentially not hideous, like I would never do that to somebody, like give them hideous looking yarn, but we would, that you might not potentially want to use alone, or you might not have enough of it to use by itself. So really we're going to just maximize your stash. That way you can clear your stash faster and then buy more yarn. You can just buy new yarn after this. This would be a great thing to learn for Stash Dash, for next year's Stash Dash. I think it's the Knit Girls put on the Stash Dash every year. And really, I just think it'll be great information for people to have, to maximize the yarn that they already have. So yeah, if you want more information on that, there is a Design on the Fly Facebook group, and Linda Ely and I are the moderators, and she can give you all of the, what do you call that? Oh my God, the specifics of the class. So when is it being held? Where is it being held? How much does it cost? So on and so forth. So that's my big announcement. So I'm really, really excited that this is my first teaching gig. That's not biology. It's my first fiber arts teaching gig that is not online. So I'm really, really excited. If you guys are in the North Carolina area or want to travel there at the end of October, please come join the Design on the Fly group and sign up for the class. So yeah, with that, I don't know if anybody has questions or comments. There haven't been that many people viewing this live, so that's fine. This has been episode 22 of Design Time. Again, please follow me on Facebook and on Instagram, and come find me on Ravelry and hang out. Basically, just stay in touch. I hope to be doing more of these podcasts again. I might just continue to do them live, just for the sake of, goodbye, Rowan, bye. Just for the sake of having some fun times with you all. So go create something beautiful. Go read Big Magic. Go look at shackspindle.com/blog to see all of my recent exploits in weaving. And I will see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.